Hey guys, and happy Thursday. Hope you guys are having a great week so far. I know I am. I finally feel like I'm getting back in the swing of things, starting to get a routine down, right? And so I hope you guys are having a great week. Hope you're having a great Thursday, almost the weekend, right? Friday, Junior. We got this, almost there, and then we have a 3-day weekend. So fun. All right, so today we are going to be talking about how to take good notes. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and look into how to take some good notes because we're going to be taking a lot of notes here in class, and so I want to make sure that we know how to take good notes, right? Because there's no point of taking notes if they're not good, right? Or there's no point of taking notes if we don't understand those notes that we just took, right? We're just wasting our time at that point, and I do not want to see that happening. I want to make sure that we know how to take good notes, but then also know how to use and apply those good notes that we just took, right? And so if you look at my screen, right, I'm going to take you through a PowerPoint of how to take good notes, especially for our class today. And I even took these notes off of something else, and so there you go. So first off, right, so the format, okay? Handwritten notes are most effective, and I will say with us being virtual that you have the flexibility at home. If you would like to take your notes with paper and pencil while you watch the video of me doing the notes, like right now, that is perfectly acceptable. I'm more than happy if you want to do it that way, okay? That's the flexibility of it, because what you can do is you can pause the video, right? You can pause it right now if you wanted to, and then sit there and pause and write your notes, or if I have showing you right now, like I'm showing you my screen, well then you can pause it and write and take good notes off of that, okay? Or get yourself a stylus like I have right here, like I told you about, because what you can do is sit there and write using a stylus like you're writing on a piece of paper, okay? So write notes in your own words and not word for word from the board, okay? You understand so much more when it is in your own words, right? You know your lingo, you know your handwriting, you know your wordage more than anyone else would ever know, okay? And then also that if you're writing word for word, you're not hearing everything. So writing notes in your own words helps you understand the information that you're writing down in a way that only you would understand, right? Because if someone else took your notes, maybe they wouldn't understand your notes because you're writing it in your own words. And so sometimes, right, the teacher is also saying other things, and we're going to get into this later, that, right, if you're sitting there trying to type as fast as you can from what the screen said, or writing down as fast as you can from the screen, word for word, well, you might miss something that I might say that is just as important than what is up on the board, okay? Also, writing notes in your own word does help you summarize the information more, right? And so you don't feel like that is so much more material than you need to learn and study for a test, because you're sitting there and you're summarizing it, getting kind of the main big major points from the reading or from the notes from the board, right? You're summarizing, you're getting smaller, but the main important stuff, right? When you read a summary of a book that you're trying to look at the library at, right, it's hitting the main points of the book, and you kind of understand already what the book is talking about without having to read the entire book, right? Okay, so a big thing also is to make sure that you are staying organized with your notes, okay? Create folders through Google Drive, or if you want to do paper and pencil, then get some physical folders for you, or a notebook, and organize it that way. Just some way to stay organized, because if you have just random pieces of paper, different files here and there, all through your iPad, and no clue where they are, then what's the use of having these notes, right? So make sure you are staying organized. So those are some big things for the format. So how do I know what to write down? That's my biggest thing that I hear students ask when they're trying to take notes, is that they're reading from the textbook, they're reading from an article, and they go, I don't know what to write down. I don't know what you want as my notes. Okay, and so here's some ways what you should be looking at when you are trying to write your notes. Okay, big thing, summarize and simplify. Okay, usually a lot of texts give you a big paragraph of information. You really only need to know, one or two things about that paragraph. Okay, summarize it. Figure out a way, what are the main points? What is this paragraph talking about, right? What can I do to simplify it, to summarize what the author is saying? Okay, especially this is very important for topics that have a lot of information. We're going to be talking about some topics and material that will have a lot of information, and it's going to be so important to you that you are summarizing and simplifying, or you're going to have lists and lists and lists of notes, and it's just you're gonna feel overwhelmed, and I do not want that for you. Okay, you do not need to know all of the information. That is why. Okay, so make sure you are summarizing and simplifying, hitting the main points out of that. Okay, listen to me as the teacher when I'm lecturing, right? How many times already have I gone off script? How about not reading directly right from my screen? Okay, I am saying just as important things as you that are writing down what's on the screen. Also, I may say extra information that helps you understand the material better, right? Helps that may be more helpful to you in order to understand it, right? Maybe that right here, this listen to lecture, or me saying verbal cues such as this is important, maybe that didn't make sense to you when you first read that, but me right now explaining what all that means, right, is a lot more helpful to you in understanding and learning this material. And so I will say a lot of times, this may or may not be important, right? The wink, wink, nudge, nudge kind of thing, right? I do say that a lot because I want you to, star that, highlight that, right? Underline that, okay? So then that way when you're looking back at your notes, hey, that was important. Miss Hoffman said that was important. Okay, look for some keywords. So here's some keywords that you should be looking for. Major, main, key, chief, first, right? A lot of the major battle of the war. Okay, that's probably a good key there. I need to know about this battle. Okay, compare and contrast. Sequence of events. History, we're always talking about a timeline of events, right? Okay, what happened first, what happened second, third, fourth, last, right? Okay, finally, cause and effect is a big one with history. History is just a big snowball effect. Something happened, which then affected something else, and then that actually then affected something else too. Okay, so a lot of cause and effect. So if the war happened, right, what was the effect of that war? What was the impact of that war? Those are good big keywords to be looking for. Okay, some big ones are vocabulary words, and our textbook does a nice job. It highlights vocabulary words and then also gives you a little definition there as well. Also key people, and does also highlight some key people, and so make sure that you're looking for those while you're reading through a textbook or an article, wherever you're maybe taking notes from. Also, watch and read any additional videos and articles and other study materials that I'm going to post, right? I'm in our folder for today. There's another video that I didn't say you have to watch. It doesn't have the check mark of view the item, but is an extra resource in there for you to help you learn about how to take good notes, okay? So if you're still not understanding how to take good notes and how to use good notes after this video lesson that I have put up, watch that, give that a watch. Maybe that'll spark something in your head, right, that you didn't get from me, which is fine, right? I'm taking no offense, trust me, okay? But I haven't included that in there for you, so then that way, if you need it, you have an extra resource so you can learn, hopefully, from a different perspective, okay? All right, so next we have, how do I write notes then? Okay, so I know the format. I have, kind of an idea of what I need to take notes on, okay? How do I actually then sit there and write the notes? The big thing is small chunks of information, bullet points. You see my screen right now, me giving you, I break everything up in bullet points like this, okay? And it's small, concise, clear, direct information, okay? Write the date and module lesson at the top of the page to stay organized. That's, again, going back to the format, staying organized. Make sure you know, okay, this is on module 2, lesson 1, right? So make sure you're staying organized. That also goes along with the bullet points. Staying organized, and it's very clear and cut, right? It also helps, doing that helps kind of learning information that has a lot of information, okay? It's a lot easier and it's quicker than to bullet point different topics. Write down titles and subtitles, okay? You're reading out of the textbook, we have the red titles and then the blue subtitles. Make sure you write those down. Develop your own cues here for your notes to take notes quickly. So, right, it allows yourself to hear more of the lecture from me, because you're just kind of, writing a little cues or little clues here. And so it also allows you to write quicker. Okay, so example I have, right, so if we're talking about North America, right, instead of writing out North America, spending that, I know it's extra, 5 seconds, but still, just write out N-A, capital N, capital A, right? And then when you're reading back, oh, North America, okay, but you didn't have to spend and waste the time in writing out North America maybe so many times, especially if we keep mentioning it over and over again, okay? And so find little cues like that to help you be able to write quickly and just be able to hear more, maybe me speak, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and take a practice, okay? And so if you're looking at my screen right now, right, this is an article or little paragraph from our textbook, from a lesson that we're not gonna do. But I figured it'd be an easy way for us to practice here. So, one of the Greeks' most lasting contributions, however, is their political system. During the time known as the Classical period, around the 5th and 4th centuries BC, Greece was organized into several hundred independent city-states, which became the foundation for Greek civilization. Athens was the first Greek city-state to establish democracy, a form of government in which people rule themselves. All male citizens in Athens had the right to participate in the assembly, a gathering of citizens to debate and create the city's laws. Every citizen voted on every issue. Because all male citizens in Athens participated directly in government, we call the Greek form of government a direct democracy. Okay, I want you to go ahead and pause the video right here and take a few seconds to think about, what do I need to know about this paragraph, right? If you were taking notes on this specific paragraph that I have right here, what would you need to know? Okay, go ahead, pause and take a few seconds to think about, maybe even if you want, go ahead and practice writing down these notes and how you would take these notes. Okay, go ahead, pause and do that. Then we'll come and do this together. All right, once you have come back now, okay, let's go ahead and I'm going to take you through with what I think is the important information that we need from this paragraph. Okay, so first off, we see the word most, right? One of the Greeks' most lasting contributions. So lasting contributions, okay? And I saw the word most and I was like, ooh, that seems like important, right? Going back to those key words. However, what is their most lasting contribution? And then I see, okay, their political system. So their political system is the most lasting contribution. Do we know when, right, this was? It was during the classical period, okay? right? We always think about those questions: who, what, when, how, where. Okay, so we have Greeks. What is it? The most lasting contribution is their political system. During when? The classical period. And so now we kind of need to know, okay, what is their political system, right? And so we have a democracy, right? And then that's a key word, right? It's highlighted yellow. So what is a democracy? Democracy is a form of government in which people rule themselves. Okay, I probably should know that their political system is a democracy, and a democracy is a form of government in which people rule themselves. Okay, so how did the Greeks rule themselves using a democracy? Well, all male citizens, they had the right to participate, to debate, and create cities' laws. So every citizen voted on every issue. Right, so that is how a democracy worked. That is how the people ruled themselves, because the people, all male citizens, they voted and debated on the city's laws on every issue. And so since they participated directly, this is called a direct democracy. Okay, hopefully you had something very similar. So I kind of took those pieces out of there, but we have to actually write the notes. So let's go ahead and write the actual notes for this then. So Greece's most lasting contribution is their political system during the classical time period. Right, that's that first half that I underlined. They created a democracy, which is a government where the people ruled themselves. A direct democracy, so all male citizens participate directly by voting and debating on every issue. Right? You see how I took that paragraph. So if I go, back, right, to this page, okay, we have how many sentences? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 sentences, and I broke it up in 3. Right? I split it in half. Okay, I didn't need all the other information, and I pretty much got the same information from these 3 bullet points. Okay, so hopefully that made sense to you. What I want you to do now is actually do some practice. And so what you're going to do, okay, is in the assignment called Taking Notes Practice. Okay, what you're going to do is open that up, go to the link. Okay, it is an article, short little article. Maybe if you've seen the movie Hacksaw Ridge, okay, it's about a soldier in World War II, Desmond Doss. And go ahead and give that article a read, okay? And then what I want you to do is in the Google Doc document that is attached to that assignment, okay, I want you to practice taking notes, okay? Really practice here taking notes. You are going to submit this, okay, and I'm going to look over and I'm going to see how well you kind of did on taking these notes, okay? I'm not going to be really necessarily grading, but I do want to be able to hopefully give you some feedback, okay? Because then what you're going to do is use those notes that you took on that article and then apply them to the assignment using your notes activity, okay? And so again, I want you to really try to do well on, how taking, focus on how am I taking good notes, and then be able to see, did I take good notes by on the using your notes activity, okay? This is going to be so helpful for us if we get this down now, right? Get the practice in now, so then by next week when we are actually getting started with our module assignments, like we're starting with module 2 on Tuesday, and so when we actually get in there and start taking notes and then having to actually use your notes on quizzes and tests, right, to master standards, we already kind of have that down. You already kind of have a good feel and know how to take good notes, okay? So please make sure that you're really trying on how to take good notes and then using those good notes that you took onto a practice quiz, a activity. Okay?